Why does your posture keep slipping even when you want to sit perfectly all day? Or why do you get into a poor posture even when you intend to sit perfectly all day? All right, so you probably start your day with really good intentions. You sit down at your desk, adjust your chair, maybe you even remind yourself, sit up straight. And for a little while, it feels like you've really nailed it. But somewhere along those meetings, a couple of emails later, checking your phone in between, your body quietly starts to slide down the chair, start to get into that poor posture. You may not notice it happening. Your back gradually softens into the chair. Your shoulders may get rounded. You might get a forward head posture where your head moves slightly forward in relation to your body. And then later in the day, you start to feel that heaviness in your neck, maybe a headache coming on, or your upper back or lower back, maybe even nerve pain, tingling, numbness. You might feel any or all of these symptoms coming on, and you think, "Hey, I started with sitting down properly. What happened?" Or maybe even standing if you have a standing desk. So in today's video, let's explore why do you keep slipping into that poor posture during the day and what exactly is happening here. Now, the next two videos that I'm going to do, I'm going to cover some posture resets for you. And the video after that, I'm going to cover some very, very simple, easy things that you can do to regulate your nervous system. And of course, these are all connected together. I will explain more in the other videos as we go along, or probably in this video also, I'll touch upon it. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck and nerve pain, despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I do this by giving you some simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have all worked for me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, if you're familiar with adrenal fatigue, you may know there are lots of symptoms, but the two main ones I had were a lack of focus and low energy levels. And with these two, it's really difficult to get through your day, leave alone managing your aches and pains. Now, so here I am, trying to give you a mix of my professional expertise, my personal experiences, so that your pain relief journey isn't as long as mine was. Anyway, so let's get into the topic for today because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So the topic for today is why do you keep slipping into a poor posture even when you intend to sit perfectly all day? Of course, this is applicable to standing posture as well. Now, most of us have been taught, oh, a good posture means holding a posture. Sit up straight, pull your shoulders back, keep your spine upright. We hear this so often, right? But posture is not just a fixed position that you're supposed to hold all day. It's a system that's constantly working under everyday loads where your muscles are supporting you. Your joints are stabilizing your muscles are supporting the joints, stabilizing them. Your nervous system is coordinating all of that that's happening in your body, the way you're sitting, the gravity that's pulling you down. Maybe you already have back pain, you have muscle spasms, so anything and everything that's going on, your nervous system is coordinating all of that in the background. So basically, you're processing it in your brain. Now, but as with any other system or machine that is under constant load or continuous demand, it can fatigue. Your body can fatigue. Now, as the day progresses, your brain looks for the old pattern that it's used to. So, for example, if I am used to always sitting in a slouch posture like this, right? So, what will happen is even if I sit upright and I start in this position, the connections in my Zoom is funny, just cut off my finger anyway. So the connections in your brain are set up in such a way that this slouch or poor posture has become your normal, right? So this is what your brain perceives as normal posture for you. Now, when I ask you to sit back, roll your shoulders down, and you're sitting up straight in a good posture, your brain has to understand that this is now my new normal. And like any other skill, we have to do this repetitively for our brain to understand, oh, this is how I'm supposed to do it now. For example, when you learn how to cycle, you should know that you have to continuously pedal on the cycle. You have to hold the steering out straight, or you got to steer it from left or towards the left or the right, depending on where you're going. So all that coordination has to be learned. So it's a new skill that you need to acquire. So similarly, you can say it's a similar thing. You got to acquire this new skill of the good posture. So your brain has to relearn, unlearn what it has learned in the past, and it has to relearn this new good posture that you're teaching it. So, but what happens? The brain gets, well, if you can call it lazy, and it says, hey, I don't want to learn all this new stuff. I'm just going to go back and slouch because this is my learned pattern and I find this easy. I'm going to do this. So, this is what is happening when you are sitting upright and you're sitting in a good posture, but you slide down the chair, you get in that slouch posture. And of course, all this then leads to that excessive load on your spine, muscles, ligaments, etc., leading to spinal pain, nerve pain, etc. Now, it's interesting that your body doesn't just slouch randomly. Okay, so it does not get into a poor posture all of a sudden. It follows a very predictable pattern. Usually, most of the time, it can be different for people. Usually, it starts with your lower back. When your lumbar spine loses that support, your pelvis starts to tilt, like it starts, instead of sitting in neutral position, your pelvis starts to tilt backwards. As that happens, your lower back is slouched, your mid back starts to round, your chest drops. To keep your eye level with the screen, your head starts to shift forwards. Now your neck muscles have to work harder just to hold your head up. That's the forward head posture that happens. Now, that is where that familiar tightness, that fatigue starts to creep in. Now, you might see this manifesting over time as neck stiffness, shoulder heaviness, that end of the day headache, or the midday headache that comes out of nowhere, or you have a rounded mid back, slouched lower back. And some people often complain of the pain between their shoulder blades, just between, where the shoulder blade, the inner part of the shoulder blade, and the spine is. There's a lot of pain in that area, especially for those who sit for long hours and have this forward head posture. Okay. And some people may even say, hey, the tailbone is painful because you're not sitting in a proper position. You are actually putting a lot of stress on your tailbone. You're sitting on your tailbone. You're not meant to. Okay. So, excuse me, it's not just your desk work. It can show up when you're scrolling, when you're driving, when you're sitting on the couch. It's like a chain reaction, So it goes lumbar spine, mid back, up, and then your upper back, and neck. Or the other pattern that we see is people who are staring at a screen. So, for example, if I'm looking at the screen and if you look at my neck here, there. So, this is a forward head posture. In order to balance my head over my torso, I have to round my shoulders. The moment I do that, my lumbar spine also slouches, right? So, these are the two patterns that can happen, either lower to up or up to down. Um, Now, you don't need to sit perfectly from morning to evening, right? You just need a simple way to come back to alignment again and again throughout your day. Now, a way that it works, with your natural rhythm of the body. You don't have to force yourself. Yes, you might have to remind yourself a couple of times initially, but nothing that is forced. So, in my next video, I'm going to show you a three-step posture. Let me say that again. A three-step posture reset that you can do under 2 to 3 minutes. And one that can actually fit in your day without taking away time from your busy schedule, one that can help your body feel lighter and not like you're forcing it to get into a good posture. All right. So I am going to give you more details on what I spoke about in a blog that I've written on this topic. The topic for the blog is why do you get into a poor posture? as the day goes by, even if you intend to sit perfectly all day. So, in that blog, I will give you more details about the posture reset, about neck pain, back pain, etc. All the things that we spoke about today, really. And also, there is a free guide in there about how you can maintain your posture while you're working from home. Well, it could be anytime when you're just sitting or when you are sitting on the couch or the desk or wherever you're sitting. Okay, so I will leave a link to that blog in the description of this video. If there is anything I spoke about in today's video that you don't understand, please let me know, drop it in the comments below or message me and I'll try and clarify that for you. Oh yeah, for the link to the blog, if you're watching me on Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you can't find it, or if you're a busy mom like me and can't be bothered to look for it, can you please message me or drop a comment below? I'll send it to you. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next one where I'm going to talk about that easy three-step posture reset. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.